So now we've got the action and the barrel separated from the stock. Remember, we don't need to take away the scope or anything like that. This is not going to, this is no major gunsmithing anything. So the spring that we will be removing will be this one here. It's this little spring here. And it's very, very simple. You don't need to take any screws out or cause any issues. It literally is just taking that pin out, finding something small like a center punch or a small precision screwdriver like this one, and just pushing that through. So we'll do that first. Just in the center. Push it all the way through. Might have to wiggle the... There we go. There'll be a bit of tension because obviously the spring. And now what happens is, you'll be taking that pin out. I'll show you the pin. That's the little pin you take out of there. That's what holds the trigger to the trigger assembly. And then all we're doing here is separating the trigger from the spring, making the spring free. So you see how strong that spring is. It can't, I really cannot squeeze it between two fingers. And that's a 4-pound trigger spring. What I'm going to do is I'm going to replace it with one of these chimney ones. Now the white one is the lightest one. That's a lighter spring, and that is, I'm told, around 2.5 pounds. So that's the lighter one. I think it's marked L for light. Now remember, this is just a simple thing, a simple change. Now these cost about £35 in the UK, quite expensive. Now you gotta watch this. Well, first of all, see how much easier it is to squeeze between my finger and my thumb. Now this is a slightly a little bit trickier part because we want this to go kind of like that. So what we'll do is stick this in there, back on there, and you kind of force that up with your finger. It's a lot lighter than the last one. And then we just put the pin, line up the hole with the pin. That's something that I can do easy. Do it from this side. Try to do it for the benefit of the camera. And that's it done. Simple in, and it's back. See how much lighter, even there, how much lighter it is. Now we could test how light, the difference between. It's completely safe. Put the bolt in. We can work the bolt in the action, obviously. Look at that. Didn't even move. No hassle whatsoever. How so much lighter that trigger is now. Now the thing about that is that £35 fix, getting these springs, has probably going to improve my accuracy a heck of a lot. I'll be less tense when I'm shooting this rifle now. I'll be more wary that the trigger is so light, so I don't need to brace or change my muscle movements so to compensate for the weight of the trigger. With that light trigger now, when that's on my cheek, I can use the tip of my finger to pull it. And as you see, there's no movement, and there's no stock there, so there's no weight on this rifle. I am not moving anything with that, how light that trigger is. So there you go. To improve my accuracy now with this particular rifle, hopefully getting groups similar with, well, I should get groups similar to what's up there, but this time with no fear of having to pull or looking for a rest. Now, where this benefits me is a lot of time I find myself shooting off barriers like fences or posts or even off the bonnet of the car or off the window of the car, because of the fact the type of pest control that I do. Now, when you don't have that fixed prone position like what you normally, with the security you have with a bipod and maybe a bag on the back, like what I would do for zeroing, or like when I was zeroing that night vision for that grouping there, I am relying on my whole body and the movement to restrict the movement of my rifle. Now the problem is when you've got a heavy trigger, what's going to happen is that heavy trigger is going to make you pull a lot further than just maybe a half an MOA to the left. In my regards, it will pull probably a good 2-3 inches at distance, and that can mean a hit or a miss if you're going for a head or a neck shot with this specific rifle. Now, as I said, for deer I don't usually do that anyway, and I don't usually use this rifle for big deer anyhow. I use this as mainly my vermin rifle, but well, a headshot on a fox at 100 yards shouldn't be hard at all. But if you're using it off a barrier or off a set of sticks or whatever, this will really improve my accuracy. There you go. Simple fix. Simple job to do. Don't need to be a specialist gunsmith. 3 action screws and 1 little pin. Replace the spring and away you go. Excellent. Subscribe to my channel. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope this was informative. Any questions, put it in the comments below. Thank you. Goodbye.